They have vanilla and French vanilla. And there's more. Take what you want.
You want to put my slides on you?
Yeah. Oh, so we have it set up so in our environment, Lucas is going to put his presentation slides up on the screen inside.
Environment.
Yeah.
So I will.
Cool. Figured that out this morning. Yeah, it's really cool.
These are my favorite.
Did you have those before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like European.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably have
really good.
Right?
I've never had Kim, but I grew up in Chicago. There's like a Polish community, and there's like a Polish community.
Yeah, we could see what they were. Oh, nope.
You see everything I'm doing.
Yeah, we're seeing everything.
So you see that
Yeah,
on the
really
screen? Presentation here.
So where are you working on? What's
Yeah,
the,
okay. Yeah, something like
The
that.
screen a little. You can see the screen.
I think we'll do
So
that.
the room is
And
just
then
one of
maybe,
the default rooms.
Yeah, because he's going to do the presentation through this screen.
I will try in a second. Just want to set it up. All set. And now I just make sure that we can have other people inside there. So I invite other guys.
I'm just going to turn the lights off, you guys, so we can see the screen better. Has anybody used VR before? No? Yes, a little bit. You have? Yeah.
Infamously hit a wall one time.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the first, like, the past, since you've been here, we've been playing around this, and I'm amazed at, like, how interesting it is. Because I've never really, I've done it, at, like, exhibitions or something, or, like, Google Cardboard,
So Google Cardboard, it's like gives you an impression, but it doesn't give you the taste of it. So there's a huge difference. Okay.
Are you off?
I'm trying to link this one to the other one, so this you have one or more people in the room.
Okay.
And then we start from there. So, sorry for delays. Since we brought all this equipment because of the use of it.
We have, like, about 4 headsets.
Yeah.
He just went and bought a Go yesterday, because the Go, you don't have to have headphones, and,
Like everything is just in this.
you have to actually have a smartphone, too.
And it's the cheapest as well. It's $199. So you have this, and everything is integrated. It even has sound, which is like kind of a spatial aware sound, which is generated from here. You don't even need a headset.
Yeah.
So do you have your smartphone in the headset?
No, this one, no. This one, everything is inside headset. This has standalone headset.
Okay.
Those two use phones.
The other ones use the phones and the headphones,
Yeah.
so you have to put all these things on. Yeah, and I think they're comparable in price, too.
Okay, so this one now is online, and I have to invite this guy in. So actually, like you'll be using the phone.
So, you want me to do it?
Here you go. I will invite you now. You can see. Video. Capturing. Okay, I'll send you an invitation now. Come visit. Okay.
Wait till you see my avatar, it's so cool. He's like, what are you doing? Because I spent like so much time creating my avatar, changing my clothes. That was the hardest part.
So maybe not to delay it, we will start just 2 of us, Catherine, and then later we can basically bring 2 more people inside.
So maybe, are we ready?
Yeah, I think we'll be ready. Just you're entering the room now. Okay. Stuff. Sorry. Okay, now. That's about gigawatt one.
Jigga.
There's a lot of jokes inside the platform, but okay. Come on. Yeah, so it's still like, the efficiency of this and the hardware is still, not great, but still gives you enough power to experience things. Right. Still loading, sorry. Okay, Catherine is in. Good. So, okay, Catherine is in.
Okay, yeah, I just want to,
So we do something, so I'll start the streaming.
yeah, okay.
And everything will be great.
So he's live streaming also in his website. He has a government news website. Actually, he does a lot of interviews and talk shows, kind of.
Okay, that's what we're going
Right.
No.
Okay. Welcome everyone to our VR event. I want to introduce Dr. Lucas Corwall, and he's from, I always have to read it because it's a very long name. He's a visiting scholar researcher from the Insight Centre for Data Analytics, National University of Ireland, Galway. And Lucas and I are going to be collaborating on some research involving virtual reality. So today we thought, welcome to the university. Today we thought we would just show you the virtual environment, and we're going to talk a little bit about, Lucas is going to show some presentation slides in the environment and talk about some of the research he's been doing. And then we'll have some interaction and you guys can all go into the VR environment. Sounds good. Cool. All right. So we'll read it first.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for coming. It was a bit on short notice, but I'm happy to have some participants. Yeah. So just to say, like, so we are live now, and if any of your colleagues would like to follow up later, it will be on Facebook and I think on YouTube as well, so people can follow up. So we will start our journey by entering virtual reality, and what we wanted to show is we will actually show presentation on VR inside VR. Yeah, so kind of interesting concept. Maybe first of all, why do we do it? Just quickly.
Okay.
So myself and Catherine, we work in the domain of electronic participation, and it's about using technology to communicate people, especially governments and citizens, but also it's a broader domain. And so my PhD was on this topic, and now I dive into VR, thinking that VR may be actually the next channel which would provide much better communication than any other channel before. So we basically treat it like a new medium, like TV when it came. Everybody was scared of it and so on, and I think there's some fears now with VR. But I think it brings a lot to the table, and we try to explore what are the potential uses of VR for education, for business, for training, and look at kind of more serious applications, because we see a lot of entertainment applications so far, watching videos and playing games, but we want to say, okay, how we can use this medium now to do something sensible, something for the society. So here, the setup we prepared here consists of 3 different types of VR, which are one of the most common tools used these days. So we have Oculus Rift here, and Oculus Rift would say started all this thing, portable VR. So VR was available already in about the 80s, but it was nothing good because the hardware was not strong enough. And lately, guys came up with this concept of a new generation of VR headsets, and that was Oculus. And Oculus is still the most popular platform. It's not the cheapest, but provides you really immersive experience. As you can see, it's tethered, so it has a cable, and it requires a PC to run. So there is a headset here, and it has sensors in it. It has a headset, it has headphones, but you need a PC to run it. There is also extra sensors here that measure my position, and it's so-called 6 degree of freedom system, which means all my movements are tracked. So it's not only my head, but also I can crouch, I can jump, I can move, I can walk around, and it's tracked through the sensors. Also, it has two controllers, so it tracks my hands as well. And thanks to it's called Oculus Touch, it also can simulate me grabbing things and moving my fingers, which is really cool. And Katrin actually had a taste of it.
Yeah,
and I think she loved it. So this setting is probably one of the most expensive ones, but it's also the most immersive. So there is, it comes at a cost, but it's worth it, I think. Similar, there is a similar setting called Htc Vive, which is from the competitor. Similar concept. You have sensors, you have tethered headset and controllers. Yeah, so these are the best. Then
When
we
you say
have,
expensive, how expensive?
Yeah, how
so
much?
the headset I see now on Best Buy, they had a sale now for $350. The
Yeah.
headset alone, but the computer has to be very strong. So we look at computer about 2.5 grand computer to power it, so it's fast enough.
Yeah.
So the computer is actually the barrier. If you have a powerful computer which is equipped with, so first of all, the computer needs a strong GPU, like GeForce GTX 1060, 1070, 1080, depending on how much money you have. But this one has 1070, which is just good enough to run it. So I would say 2.5 grand is kind of a level that you have to spend plus 350. So we look at around 3 grand setup like this. Of course,
$350 for the headset.
350 for the headset alone. So
Okay.
if you have a strong PC already, you're there. But if you don't have a strong PC, then you have to spend extra money. So that's the barrier. But it's also, as I said, it's the most immersive experience you can have. Then there's this headset, which was very popular and actually opened VR to masses as a Samsung Gear VR. So it was released by Samsung. And it was kind of a response from Samsung to Google Cardboard. I don't know, anybody tried Google Cardboard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They would give them away like $15 with purchase.
Yeah.
yeah, so they are great because they can give you a kind of idea how the VR works. So basically, how majority of VR headsets work is you have two lenses inside and you have kind of a screen in front of you, and the lenses are adjusted so it feels as far, right? So actually, Oculus uses two different screens for each eye. So that's the difference. This kind of cheaper headsets, they use one screen, which is the screen of your phone, which is in front, and it's divided in half. When you open it, you will see that there is two different, like the screen is divided per eye. So Cardboard was okay, but because of the phones, they were not fast enough, and so on and so forth. The experience is very kind of laggy, and that prevents you from being immersed in the environment. Why is that? Because our brains are very sensitive towards kind of lagging, any kind of lagging. That was solved by Samsung team. So they designed their phones to actually support VR explicitly. And that's why Samsung Gear VR works only with Samsung phones, but they worked with the Oculus team together to develop this headset. Also, this headset is not only an empty shell, it actually has sensors inside as well. So the head tracking is actually not coming from the phone, it comes from the headset itself. That's why it's very precise, and that gives you more immersion. It feels more natural. So when I first tried this, I was actually amazed how good the mobile headset can be. So it was about $120, this one, but you needed a phone. But luckily, like when Samsung was releasing Samsung Galaxy S6 all the way to S9 now, they were giving those up. They were giving this out for free with the phone. So you get a phone, a plan. I got it free, so it was good. So I jumped in VR.
But you also need the headphones.
And also, yeah, that's
Which aren't that expensive,
you would need
but it's
to
kind of
put
like
some headphones as well because it doesn't have any speakers or anything. So you need so I will show you. So yeah, inside there is just two lenses. There's sensors inside. There is a touchpad here, some buttons. You slide in your phone, and then you have to plug in the headset. Yeah, so that's the basic idea. So that was called Samsung Gear VR, but was also branded as Oculus. So it has access to Oculus market. So similar experiences than Oculus Rift. And now we have the latest development, which is the Oculus Go, which is this guy here, which was released like, let's say a couple of months ago, properly, because it was announced last year already. But so this is kind of cool because you don't need anything else. This is all you need. So it doesn't require a phone, doesn't require a computer. It comes with a controller. So you just put it on and you are in VR. And it costs $199 for 32 gigabyte version. There is 64 for 250, I think. So yeah, so the principle is pretty much the same like with that one, like with Samsung Gear VR, but it doesn't require a phone. Actually, the operating system and the experience are exactly the same with Samsung Gear VR. So it's the same system. It's completely independent. And now some of the experiences can be shared between those. Yeah, so like now we will enter with this one, with that one. We can use also those to enter the same space. Some experiences are exclusive because basically because of the processing power. So this guy here is much more powerful, can handle much more. These guys can't. So simple experiences can be shared. Some of them are exclusive. And I think there's enough of introduction, so we just show you the things.
Can I wear my glasses with this?
Yeah, so Catherine will wear Oculus Go. And here's,
the thing for the glasses.
okay, yeah, just really faster, sorry.
So this does have a.
So they have actually extra extensions,
glasses.
so it creates more space inside. So you can put like an extension so you can fit your glasses inside. Yeah, so sorry, Catherine, you have to survive now. But yeah, with some other, you can fit glasses inside. I would say this is one of the challenges. Yeah, like they didn't solve it very well. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people have glasses, you know, and with some headsets, they didn't kind of consider it very well, so it might be a bit kind of uncomfortable, but luckily with Oculus Go, they provided extension, you put it in, and it should be fine. Okay, so the experience we are showing you on the screen, this is so-called Altspace VR, and it's so-called social VR platform. Social VR, which is an emerging social media, I would say. We have social media like Facebook. Now we have something like Altspace VR, which tries to do the same, but in VR. This platform was open source and was run by a community. Unfortunately, they ran into trouble financially, as all the kind of free initiatives, and Microsoft acquired them. They are stable now financially, and they are keep going very fast. There is a lot of new things coming. So
can you guys see me?
No, not yet.
Oh,
No,
sorry,
she's there.
yeah.
She's there.
Oh,
I will just point. So Catherine is already there.
What did you
Yes,
my outfit?
we see
Look at
them.
my-
So I
It
will
took me like 20
I will get
minutes
closer to
outside.
Catherine. Hold on. So I will put my headset now. I will just remove this menu and I will get closer to Catherine.
It looked, isn't it cool?
Okay.
Yes. You got
So this
long,
is
you got
Catherine.
long arms. Yes. Got little.
So you see the mesh. Sometimes there's a mesh show that shows me the boundaries of where I can walk. Okay. So Catherine, I can shake your hand.
Come over.
I can hide this one.
Give her a hug.
So anyway.
I'm coming over.
She's coming over. Okay. So you see here I have my panel. Catherine can see the panel. Shake your hand again. No? Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, so we see this is a simulated environment. And this one is kind of created for presentations, for meetings. There's many different environments in Altspace VR. The platform is very flexible, can be modified. I can add some items like new couches, some pictures. It's very extensible. So even kind of users who are not very advanced can edit the space pretty easily. You can show it later. Sorry?
No, that's okay.
That's okay?
I'm just still trying to figure out how to navigate. I'm like too close.
Okay. So I will move this presentation thingy here.
I'm behind the presentation.
I will move it here so I can see. So you see, I have this kind of a monitor here, and I can see my presentation there. So kind of a similar setting can be simulated that we have in this room. So I can have kind of a podium, and I can move things around. In principle, the space can be like larger, smaller. It can handle in Altspace VR 30 people at once. But however, more people can be invited. The Altspace VR thought of it, and they do so-called replication. So the presenter is kind of copied to multiple different rooms. So we can have several hundred people, and they are divided into rooms by 30 people. And my person is kind of copied to each of these rooms. The reason for that is because the headsets basically cannot handle computationally more than 30 people at the same time. Yeah. So okay, I have to turn around. Sorry, because you are here. Okay.
I can't see. How come I can't see the presentation?
You can't see the
I
presentation.
just see blank wall, blank screen.
Okay, something went wrong with the sharing. No? We'll sort it later. So I will just briefly go through presentation, and you'll tell me what you think about it. So you see, like Catherine should see that. I don't know why she can't at this moment, but she should see the same presentation at the same time. I can double check this. Catherine, for you. Okay, Catherine is better.
No.
Still no?
Blank.
Okay, I don't know. I will just continue. Hopefully, this will show up on your screen. So this is my presentation I prepared, and I can switch slides here you see easily, and they update the main screen. It's kind of mapped. And what I wanted to say in this presentation is like quickly say that I believe VR is a new emerging channel, and the basic advantage over all kind of channel is that we are not using here text or just audio as a full experience. Majority of platforms here today, like social media, they rely heavily on text. And we live in this kind of era of written word, but it's been 5,000 years, and I think it's a high time to move on. And I think that VR is really something that changes the game. So you have very different medium now.
Just don't move your head so much, because the presentation's going all over the place.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
try to
right.
Okay, I
make
just
this
focus.
flat.
I will just focus like this, okay?
Wait.
Okay.
See.
And I'll see myself, so because I have to click. Okay. Is it okay now, like that?
Yeah, if you just don't move your head.
Okay. Yeah, you see, that's the feedback.
Probably worse for you because you're seeing it in the
No,
3D.
No, and when I see it here, it's just right there. Like, I just see a big screen, but we don't have the sharing. It was working earlier, but if it did, I would just see the slide. That's why it's cool. It would be cool to be able to see, we all had.
Yeah, we will try to fix it later, but now let's move on, I think, no? Or you want to
Yes.
fix it now? Yeah? Okay, so I say the problem is we have all this ubiquitous textual communication, and like in my research work, I try to say, for instance, that text is a very bad medium for some specific applications. There is a literature saying that actually already from the 60s, that text is not ideal for debates, like political debates, because it creates division. And you can see that on social media. For instance, we see like nobody ever convinced anybody to anything on Facebook or Twitter, right? Everybody gets polarized. So whatever you believe in more. People who believe in something else, they believe in what they believe. So that's the problem of text. And one of the reasons for that is lack of expressivity. And that creates this kind of bias and division. And so unfortunately, text is not a great medium for this specific application. And we want to say that the virtual reality is better. Okay. Okay, I will not go through all of this because we have quite we wasted a bit of time at the beginning for preparation. But I just want to be clear on what I say when I say virtual reality. What do I mean? So I mean virtual reality is this kind of complete immersion. It's not augmented reality where you mix, the real with the virtual. Here we talk about complete immersion. We're in different environment, and we have people coming from different places in this virtual space. I will move forward, and now virtual reality participation. We chose the platform ArtSpace VR because it's the most flexible at the moment and also the most accommodating in terms of number of users. I mentioned that before. You can have 30 users officially, but you can actually have much more if you copy the rules. And it's now owned by Microsoft, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because now they have actually resources to build it further, and it's progressing at a massive pace now. So we will see a lot of developments very soon. There is a similar platform from Facebook, Facebook Spaces, but to my knowledge, now it just supports 5 users at the same time. So here we have more flexibility in terms of having more people in the same space. And so I did a study some time ago, and where I had about 40 individuals involved. I was basically moving between different spaces in ArtSpace VR, like rooms like this one, and they are public. You can enter and socialize with random people. Like we went with Catherine 2 days ago into a campfire, right?
Campfire, yeah.
And we could meet some people from anywhere. And so this way,
It's very social. It's like you go there and you can just talk to other people. You
Yeah.
like go up to them and shake their hands.
It's like in the old time of discussion groups when people were excited to see each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So pretty much, I think it has a spirit that I think internet at the very beginning. People are very welcoming, people are social, people are open. But my study, so basically, I talked to those individuals, and also I sent a survey, and I tried to get feedback on people's ideas and impressions. And what is interesting, people indicate that there is much more, because of the more immersion and isolation, they feel they have more trust in people in VR than on any other medium, So first of all, the immersion is much more than any other medium. It's not like Skype or any other teleconferencing. You are really in the place and you feel so close with those people. And in the literature, it's actually said that we talk about something like almost transportation of consciousness. Our brains actually is a trick, we really feel we are somewhere else, and we feel presence of other people, which is not possible in any other medium. So this is a quite interesting phenomena. And also because of that, people report that, yeah, they feel more trust. So I often encountered a very interesting phenomena that people were trusting me so much, talking about their, psychological issues, problems, all kind of, private problems. And I never ever experienced that going to a random group on Facebook or any other, digital channel. So I felt like, okay, there's something going on here. I would like to explore that, and so there are several things that actually make this medium very interesting. So as I say, first of all, immersion. Second of all, this kind of sense of presence is very strong, and that impacts trust. There is strong evidence that impacts trust. That's why I believe that it is a great potential channel for serious applications. So as we mentioned, e-participation is my kind of area, but also education, and I think business communication can benefit a lot from this medium because it provides you more expressiveness. And okay, there is some more statistics here, but people were suggesting basically what would be good to use, what they would like to have. So some voting systems, they would like to have moderator role. So my research now is focused on trying to kind of identify how this space, how this system can be modified and extended so it can kind of satisfy specific needs, like for instance, political debate or training or business meeting. And that requires different protocols, different communication protocols, for instance, that not everybody speaks at the same time, that there are some roles. Like we know in old times, IRC, you had people who were more important and less important, you had moderators. So something like this probably has to be injected, and this is what I'm trying to research, and that's what we'll be working with Katrin as well. So we will have, we will try to look at, how this VR works, what is working, what doesn't work, how it can be improved. And I developed this kind of architecture, but we will not be focusing now on e-participation because it's quite a short talk. But in principle, the idea would be to use all these things the governments used to inject into e-participation platforms and now replicate it in VR. Unfortunately, there is no successful e-participation so far after the decade, and we can't really see really good e-participation systems. There was lack of engagement, but I think now for the first time, because of this coolness of VR, I think it may fly. So that's what I tried to say. And I'd like to finish with kind of a small poem I wrote, kind of a piece. So communication gap, communication challenge, distorted communication, biased communication, fake communication, hateful communication, time to engage and experience, leave the communication to machines. So what I'm trying to say, VR is more than communication, it's actual experience. That's why I believe that there is a massive potential to actually enable people to communicate better through this channel. So that was the presentation, and you see I did it in VR. Okay, you couldn't experience it the same way because you are not in VR, but now we can progress to kind of a demo, and maybe you can try either the headset that Katrin has or the two other headsets. We'll set them up.
Yeah, we can.
And you can try it on.
Did you set the other?
Katrin looks so funny. What happened to your head? Are you dead?
I'm sad because I can't see the presentation.
Oh my goodness.
So is that your avatar? Is that your avatar?
That's my head.
Oh, it's just, oh no, it's your Vive.
Yeah, that's me. You can create your own avatar. The hair color, want to be a woman or a man, and then you can pick your clothes.
Poor thing, no? My goodness.
I know, put my head on.
Anyway, so I will just.
Oh, I see. It entered, it went out. Okay, so how do you want to, can we have more, did you set up more accounts for other people?
So those should have the accounts. I'll try the phones, and I hope
They're
you'll be
ready.
able to connect.
Yeah, we set up accounts so we can all be in there together. If you guys.
So if you want to try it straight away, you can actually wear those. I will try to set the other ones.
Catherine.
Do you want to be me for a little bit? All right, so when you get it on, you just want, you'll get it should be all set up.
Right.
Is there a screen?
Yeah.
All right, so just press that, I think it's the first button.
Oh.
Well,
It's like on the screen,
So
it
talk
was
about
beautiful.
usability wise, it messes up your hair.
Yeah, we identified
Your
the
hair is
issue.
like sticking out.
Right.
We identified the challenge. It really messes up your hair.
How can I move forward? Is there like a handle on the stick right?
Huh?
How can I move?
Oh, yeah,
Or just gonna
so,
stand?
so you press This is like
This is like a touchpad, but there's also a button, so you can actually click.
Oh, I see.
so
Okay.
You can click.
Hold on.
you can't really go backwards. You have to like.
Okay, so that's
Turn
kind of like.
Yeah, normally you should go through tutorial, but nothing can give you a speed.
If you want to turn
Fast
around,
track.
go backward. You can't go backwards with this one, so you have to go either right or left, and then you can go forward. You know what I mean? You're probably gonna be a professional at it.
Yeah. So you see, they all kind of coupled with this kind of a controller, which is gyroscopic. So these mobile platforms have only one. Oculus has two, and
So
also
you
can have
see the
simulate
screen?
hands better. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big screen?
Yes.
So to the left of it,
Yeah.
there's a little like X or something.
Please go ahead.
down
I
on the
just set it
bottom.
up now, so.
Of the screen itself?
What, no,
Yeah,
left
scroll
of
around.
the screen.
There you go.
There's like, it's like, I think it's like
Is
a,
it a little like radio menu?
yeah, it's just an icon.
You
Has
can
a
try to
name
wear
on
that
it.
one.
Where I have a, like you says, you buy
Um,
something, and they give it a
But
little.
it's
Oh,
like
I
The
think
good
that
thing is you'll see the
updated.
controllers once you go in. They are usually visible to you.
like, you know, a menu,
Yeah.
move.
And I think I brought it
All
here.
right, so we got it back up. I'll tell you in a second.
That's the controllers. This one.
Oh, I see. Can you see, now we can see?
Yeah, so now you can see it.
And also.
See you.
Hold on, I don't want
Sorry. Okay. And they also touch
So
sensitive, so that.
Sarah's in there.
The thumbs will be going up and down if you touch it or leave it, so it's both pressing and touching.
Oh, wow.
They are, oh, what does that
And you click it.
All right,
There's
so,
like blue
so are you
lines
facing the
everywhere?
screen?
Not right now,
Something,
hold on.
something broken.
Well, when you get
Because
there,
you're
let me
close to the,
I'm looking at the screen right now.
you're close to the sensors, did it
All
disappear?
right, so it's
Yes.
just the
It just
lower,
tells you the boundaries,
It's not
so
on
you
the
wouldn't
screen,
crash into
it's
the table.
Okay.
so
So
bottom
it's kind of
left
create a
of the
page
screen.
around
Is
you,
there like a
so it's
little
for safety.
square with
Yeah.
an X in it? Or no, actually, it looks like a network thingy. Like a.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You
okay,
see
so
that?
it is the
Oh,
one.
there's me, okay.
So you should see each other.
That's the browser.
So
Yeah, no.
he will have a very nice avatar now.
So,
And you can speak to each other, you can try to talk to each
so
other.
is there one of those like little circles with the network that's like freestanding?
Can you speak up so she can hear you inside? I don't know.
Hello?
Can you hear
This
him?
browser is stopped.
I
can just hear it.
Maybe he's mute. You see there is this
Back.
button, you have to unmute yourself. Above the triangle, there is a red microphone. If you can click on it, then you unmute yourself.
Because
And then you
basically
just
what I'm
unmute
trying to
him.
get you to do
And I'm trying to
is,
speak to him.
change the, you can play like,
Can you hear
go to
her?
Google and you can put like on music, you can go to YouTube and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So you can actually
Yeah.
change the
Wait, now I
station.
hear him.
Oh, maybe it is that network one.
I have the browser open now, is that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's it. So now you can type into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes up when you open up the browser, you know that big screen?
So how do you type by like
The
letter?
keyboard, yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
keyboard.
not what I
pops
wanted,
up.
oh god.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I just crashed right into it.
would you crash into the board?
Into the, no,
I
into
think
the
it's-
little browser pop-up.
Oh, you're right on top of me. So very comfortably.
Back up.
I will try to join you. But see whether I can.
So I ended up like behind the screen and then I couldn't get rid of the keyboard.
I will try to connect.
There's that
over
thing,
side.
it's over there.
Oh,
Everything's all over the place. What happened?
yellow triangle?
Yeah, so that little triangle, if you go there, you can open the browser and then you can actually change it. You can put up, it opens up Google and you can type in a search. You can pull up some music like YouTube or whatever. And
So
then it'll
any-
play right on the big
So
screen.
anything you do in the browser, you can actually do in VR there.
Yeah.
So what I did, for instance, I uploaded my slides to Google Slides, and that's how I did it. And then I typed in the address.
So how does typing work?
A keyboard comes
The
up
keyboard's
and you
come up.
just
I know,
do
but,
tap with
you
your
know,
hand.
you're-
Well, it's easier with that because you have two, so
Yeah.
it's almost like
Oh.
texting.
Oh, so it's like.
Yeah, you get point.
Like there is
And then this
some,
one's a
Oh my
little
gosh.
difficult.
there is some innovation. So for instance, with HTC Vive, now they made a kind of a special keyboard that is mapped to VR. So you have physical keyboard, which is ideally mapped to the VR, so it appears the same way. So it's the newest thing with the HTC Vive, which is, similar headset to this, but it's not yet that popular.
That's going to be a.
But I think it makes sense for like
Well-
office applications, because it's, like you can create infinite number of monitors, for instance, and have your whole office inside, right? So
Wow.
it
That's
makes
rolled
sense.
office?
Does it react to verbal commands?
Verbal comments, well, it depends on the application. So there are
Yeah.
some, because, I mean, anything can be done.
It's almost like a waste of possibility if you are now put back into this virtual environment and now you're typing again.
But that's true. Actually, that's a very good suggestion. I mean, that's
Yeah,
this
that is-
platform.
yeah.
That's the Artspace VR. So that's one of the applications, right? I'm just saying it's the best so far for social, but there is many other
Yeah, we're just
applications
doing
that I'm
some
sure they
demos.
would use.
Fascinated.
Yeah, come in,
you
have
should
a seat.
come in. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you
So
guys.
you see the way I do it with this one. I have just this phone. I slide it in. I connect it, and here it is. This one is working.
You go outside?
Yeah, I'm outside, it's really
Oh,
cool.
wow.
I'll try to drive you guys.
Why is it so dark?
Is it dark?
I know, just like the backdrop.
Oh, right, yeah. Because
I think there's, is
You're
there
on a
another one you
planet.
can put on? Or Danielle?
Go down the hill
Yeah,
to see
Danielle, you
what's
wanna-
down the hill.
let's get you a,
Let's go, let's get it first.
Beautiful.
Wow.
all right.
This is.
Okay, I'm joining you guys. I will join you now.
Now she's going to fall down.
Oh, no.
Don't go over the cliff.
What's what happened?
Yeah, I'm like,
Actually,
I think it was
Let somebody else fall down?
like in some rooms, you can decide to fly
All right.
or to walk.
You can
Did you
fly.
fall?
In some rooms, you can fly.
So it won't let you
I
go.
think they want to go to the flying rooms now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
Yeah, this is a safe room that we
Yeah.
created.
This is just for
If you
kind of
want to go like to
presentations.
see other people, we can do that.
firefly.
But you know, it's interesting to see that people react in a very similar way in VR environment to real one. Like my supervisor, for instance, we went together with friends inside, and and suddenly he realized there was so many strangers inside. It's like, okay, I'm going.
Yeah, I felt a little weird. I felt weird.
And because not everybody's very easy, right, with people, and that's somehow kind of similar in VR. It's funny that you have the same feeling. Like
Yeah.
if you are shy, I think it's the same in VR. But I think it will actually help you to overcome those issues, maybe because you are yourself, but still you're behind the avatar.
Yeah,
So
and you
can
can
give
meet
you an
people
edge.
and like that you would normally like talk to. if
So
you're
maybe
shy.
that would be actually a nice tool to help people to overcome things like there is apps. One is called Face Your Fears, where people can, for instance, simulate falling, being on the top of the building. So, for instance, if they have fear of heights and so on, they can actually work on that.
That's so interesting.
Can we go to another? Should we stay here? Or
We can change the room, but I just wanted to join the.
What
it's
about
taking forever.
the setups where you actually have a treadmill or you are in a, where you can
There are people use those settings as well. People use treadmills or kind of manipulating tools. But of course it's all kind of not mainstream. There's many companies developing those. So we are still in the early days, but I think that's why it's so fascinating. I'm just following somebody now. Who's the blue hair? I'm just behind
blue
you.
hair is you. I gave you blue hair. That it no.
Oh, okay, so that's me.
Can you turn
Yeah,
around?
Sarah.
Can you turn around?
Sarah.
You'll see
Oh,
me.
hi.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. How are you?
Look, I changed your hair. Really.
And I can speak to you now as well.
Look, where am
Can you hear
I?
me
I'm
now?
on the side.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You're way outside.
So you see, I have another one. So if anybody would like to try.
Yes, let's do
I can also, what's your name? Try.
Yeah,
So,
Would you like to
try
try?
for you.
Yeah, that's someone else can try.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody can try. This is
Somebody
the,
else
That's really cool.
this is the
Yeah.
best.
I've done. I want this.
So you can feel the difference. Like the Rift is definitely the best.
What's your name?
Shoshana.
Shoshana. I'm Catherine. Hi. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Why don't you
You can try this one, yeah, maybe this because that
This is like
one
the
is better.
Yeah.
That one is
This one?
better. Yeah.
That's the ultimate.
Should I take my glasses off?
Yeah, unfortunately, it would be easier for me.
I am
Yeah.
really bad.
Why don't you can try?
Yeah, I'm
You
curious
wanna
if
try
it was
the-
blurry because
I forgot to wear my contacts. Is the
I
problem.
think it's because you didn't have your.
I forgot to wear my contacts. I cannot see.
So let me find that thing.
These are the controllers, you're gonna put your hand.
Hello.
Let me find the
This
piece that goes
This is
in.
what,
In there.
Yes, what was said in German.
Yes,
This
I
is
can
how
see
they
you.
feed you.
Good stuff.
All the activities you can afford to do. They've set up and they have VR.
Here, let me try and put this on because
It's really cool.
Allow people
That
to
was.
wear.
Oh, okay.
You can call it
Well, what's
you call it
what's
VR?
a Poland?
I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
Anybody else? No? Give it a
Wait,
try.
Wait,
Don't be shy.
no, she needs her glasses.
Well, how do we
Why
get
don't we
off
give her
the
this
one?
one?
But I don't know how to.
Oh,
move it.
and
Give it a
it's
try.
So that
Here.
people can.
No, I think it should be below this.
Sorry. But that's fine, just, I can't see anything, so I'm not moving, so.
Remove this.
What happened after this?
seriously blind.
It's dark.
I think it's like this. It's first thing, huh?
Okay.
And then we put it on.
Yeah, because I mean, then now she can use it.
Yeah, now you can use it.
Sorry. Did I get you one?
No, don't worry.
It's up here. Well, let's see.
I literally can't see anything other than the VR,
Yeah,
so
so
it's
maybe we
really.
can-
There you are.
I got an Oculus Rift. I rammed it into the wall like the first time I tried it.
Did you? Yeah, because you can walk
Yeah,
up.
that should work
Wait.
better now with this extension.
Do you want me to see? Is
Like
it
a
black
laser.
or did you see anything?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but I saw like,
We see.
sometimes I move things and it's like, it has lines superimposed on it, like blue lines.
Oh.
It's really
No, no,
interesting.
No, because it's actually warning you not to hit anything. So if you
Oh,
move
oh.
further, if you move here, and if you go
Oh,
back,
yeah, that's the
that shows you the
surrounding.
boundaries of the.
It
of
shows you
plane.
like the boundaries of how far you
Oh.
can go.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
So are more games being put on this? Like
Yeah, there's more stuff, there's more
Marvel is
experiences.
my jam, Transformers. Like, are we gonna have games where we're like on Cybertron now? Because I would buy that.
Well, there's
Oh,
many
yeah,
experiences,
this is
we can
right
show
for
a bit more
learning
soon.
purposes.
So definitely.
Yeah, like- It's about
So this is,
training.
the reason we show this one because
Yeah,
we
that's
try
what we
to,
want to get into more.
in this
Yeah,
specific,
because all that gaming stuff is already out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in this specific one, yeah, just try to say that we can use it more than for games, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
So,
right.
but there's
more
plenty,
than-
there's plenty of games, there's plenty of games.
I would love to see it more down.
So how do you get into a room, like with
For
people
what?
that you don't know? Because it sounded like you had to
So,
add.
I will show it in a second. Basically, you have this kind of worlds tab, and there is basically open rooms there,
So
and you can join any moment.
into
Yeah.
training with VR.
So this is where you can, for instance, it's kind of like add them as friends, and then once you add them as friends, you can like contact each other, you can go to the person's house. And so, okay, I think so it's now.
It's like a combination of MySpace.
It is, I don't know, more or less.
Yeah, she puts
I
everything in
think
her
it's,
computer glasses
yeah.
on.
Almost.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
The world, what is there?
Blind.
It's actually
I wear,
better.
I can do it okay, but it's blurry.
And where's the controller?
I hope that works.
I have the
I got
controller.
it. Just fix that.
There's Lindsay there.
That is two, that's two, sorry.
Too tight.
Walking around with
Is it too tight?
pointers, kind of.
You don't need it, you should.
Yeah, it
Here's
is.
your pointer.
It would be much easier if there was a treadmill and you can.
Yeah, it's hard with the cord, because I'd like be turning around and all of a sudden I feel myself getting wrapped
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Anybody wants to join?
So I think that might just be.
That's interesting.
The only thing is I need to.
It's like a usability thing also.
Yeah.
She said she was starting to get.
I'm very, very sensitive.
She's sensitive.
Okay, maybe I can take us to the room with other people,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you will see.
And that's interesting.
So I will
Take her
just show,
to the campfire.
because I'm the administrator of the room, so I have to do it from this headset.
Okay, something went wrong with mine.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta start.
Sorry. Oh, because he's doing something.
Oh, okay.
So you see what I see now, right? So when I go to worlds, for instance,
I can help you with that.
see I can select from different ones.
Yeah, oh, that was really boring. It was like just it was really.
There was a restaurant?
Yeah, but you can't do anything.
Can't do anything.
No, you just go there and like look at the
Read
kitchen.
what's in it. The campfire event is open always.
Campfire.
Blue hair.
Oh, you see? Okay, that's a
So campfire should show up on one of the main ones. So there's town hall meetings, so this is people who are interested in Outspace VR.
Can you do a search or no?
I'm just trying to.
Oh.
So there is a lot of like dedicated groups like LGBTIQ meetings and interest groups meetings, you know, you can see a lot of stuff. But I wonder where popular maybe this one. A campfire. So campfire is like, it used to be the default world that you will be thrown in, but they changed the system now. So you see there's 4 people there, there's 4 key capacity.
Oh, yeah, go there.
So those are people that we don't know.
Okay.
And this is the social aspect of it, right?
Yeah, yeah. So there are people there already, right?
You have to invite,
I can invite them, yeah, but she can also find it, but I can invite her to be faster, yeah.
invite me, like, because it's under my name.
Okay. Just wait for it to load.
This is kind of weird. When I first did it, I was like,
The campfire
we were
fire.
this one
is
thing,
a
and then
bad name
this guy was
for-
standing up on a building, and he said, and we're like, hi, and we're like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Jesus. And we're like, okay.
The guy
And
was
then you,
really,
and then you click on his name, because you can go up and click on the person, and then their name pops up, and it was Jesus. It said Jesus. So we got out of that room.
And
We
that
got out of that room.
Like
Like,
Jesus.
no, he called himself Jesus. So.
Like being in
Yeah,
a
there's
real
nobody in
but
there.
there's less
So
like
she just
physical
campfire,
danger.
and there is other
This
people
is
here.
so cool though. So these other people.
Yeah, and you can, for instance, eat marshmallows here. And
Danielle, are you in there?
Nope, but I'm still.
okay, I will invite her. Hold
Can you
on,
invite her?
I will invite her. So
And the graphics are rather rudimentary. They-
I'm on visit. I sent you an invitation now, so you should get it shortly, and then you can just
So Danielle, if you get an invitation pop up, just, I think just say yes.
try to get the.
Okay.
Oh, there is the stuff there. I just wanted to show you that you can grab things as well, so that you can do this.
Oh.
Well, with the Oculus, with what?
No, with the other one as well.
You can?
You can, yeah, I wanted to do the marshmallows. So, this,
Oh,
hello. And I have to take it from the bag. Okay, see?
Oh.
And you roast it, and
And I
then.
can, Katrina was fed by some guys yesterday as well.
Okay, I keep trying to get a visit now and it won't let me.
It doesn't let you.
With it.
And anyways,
It keeps going.
you can play
to,
basketball as well, so you
the
see like I'm
pause
going
mode.
out here. And there's somebody here, but not very
I
alive.
might be doing something wrong, so.
Hello, how are you?
Let me just get you there.
Anyway, just get this one, and
Oh, okay. Can I see the thing?
I'm not that very good at it, okay.
You're not a basketball.
Uh,
Good try.
Yeah, and there is a teleport you see here, so through teleport you can go to different worlds, and they have a maze.
Okay, now.
And anyway, so I'll try to. Can I invite anybody else? Let me
Did
see.
I just take you to the thing or just
Oh,
take you
wait,
to the pause room?
Wait, yeah.
I will invite you again.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out this
It used to
one.
be working.
Okay. I mean, if anybody wants to try the campfire now. Okay, and I will try to enter.
Okay, here we go.
Let's see
So
how
you
it
have
goes.
to do this thing here. So, you have to do the trigger to get in. Okay. Okay, so let me just make sure.
So, the problem is after I left it for a while, it disconnects, so that's why I didn't see this. in
Okay, well,
print.
you have to put it on again.
So for the controllers here.
Okay. I think you'll figure it out. That's quite easy. Okay.
Yeah, I just got
Yes, you know. Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah. How do you adjust is it just how do you adjust the focus?
Take a step back because I think you are in the match now, not yet.
Oh, yeah.
The focus is red. You can just try to play with this, because it doesn't have adjustment, but usually it's
There we
just
go.
the right
It's
position.
loading.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
Alright, it is pretty hard.
You see the button?
What's going on?
I can hear people talking. It's
Yeah.
so weird. It's so weird. Okay, you're here.
Oh, they wave.
So
Like,
these are
okay,
some
now you're
people,
in.
random people from anywhere, so.
That's
So you
pretty
want
cool.
to
It's
see their
not like the
name?
real world, at least they're friendly.
Yeah.
And funny enough, people are very, very friendly there.
Can we turn that light off? Claire, the first light, just so you can see better? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so much better. So, here's your controller.
Okay, I'll try to join you guys.
You can move around, and if you go up to somebody and you click on them, it'll tell you who they are.
Wait, what? Which do I have to press?
If you go up to like an avatar, like if you go up to that guy or any person, you click on them, it'll tell you their name.
You click on them, yeah.
Like click on them.
With the button, sorry, there's a button here. So,
Oh,
So-
and you can ask them
Oh,
to
Andre.
friends.
Andre.
You can ask
Yeah.
them to friends.
Oliver. Yeah, and so you got it.
And so does
you
your
can
name-
talk to-
does your name
Hi,
come-
Oliver.
Does your name come back? So Andre knows that you clicked on it. Does it say your name?
When he clicks on me,
When
he
he
can see my
clicks on
name, yeah. But this is a nickname, so there is your name and surname, and then there's a nickname, so the nickname is displayed.
Okay. I'm not quite sure why.
I'm just trying to run this platform now.
It's really with your voices and people talk to you. But you should try this again. Yeah.
There's a word, there's a sentence. Do you like or dislike surprise?
I think that might just be to try to get conversations going or something,
Yeah.
right?
I'm trying to join you from both headsets now.
How do you grab?
Grab,
Yeah, it's a bit
it
complicated.
is a little
But Catherine, you can do it.
Do I have to like hold down the trigger? Oh,
Yeah, if you like, you pull,
Yeah,
squeeze
okay.
your whole hand, kind of.
yeah.
Yeah, we got it,
I'm getting it.
Are you?
I
Okay.
just gotta step back.
Okay.
And what am I holding right now? It's so blurry.
Oh, I'm in a basketball program.
What about it's a Christmas
Yeah.
tree too?
Maybe just try to adjust it somehow, because in some positions it's really bad.
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
got it, perfect, thank you. We got here
Okay, I'll try it again.
Oh, you just threw it, that's
Yeah.
good.
Oh.
now I can.
So you just like squeeze and then throw, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for
Oh,
coming.
thank you very much, thank you.
you.
Okay.
So is there anybody talking?
I think
Oh,
somebody needs to try finally.
Well, I have glasses, so
You
Ah,
can
so you
use
can try that one.
Try this one.
Just a second, yeah.
Although
I have
the-
a blue space.
the Oculus with the two hands is,
Oh.
it's
Very
very
good.
immersive. Yeah, like if you could just try it for like a second or something, you might like,
Okay.
because you can move your whole body. It's really cool.
Is there a sprint button by any chance?
Sprint, I think that you can teleport if
You
you go
can change the way you.
change the way you walk. If you go to that little menu thingy with the, okay, there's a walking,
The smiley there, I don't know whether it
Where
doesn't
is
show
it?
anymore.
it's not there. Maybe you can't teleport.
So anyway, I think it's quite clear, how it works. So do you have any questions?
There, I wound up in a weird space again.
Did you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sonny, do you want to try this one?
Yeah.
Because this one, it'll be comfortable for you. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
It's, I mean, it's
And I
really
didn't
the first
hit
time I
anything.
started like using this, but it's making me think of the different ways, research questions, and the different things that we could, be looking into, you know what I mean? Just given the platform.
Where should I put this?
Okay. Can you have controller?
Yeah. And the cool thing is this iSpace VR platform is very extensible again. So like you can do it at a very superficial level by inserting elements, but also they have
We have no
API.
plan.
So you can
We're gonna
actually fit anything you design. For instance, I don't know if you know, there is like things like Blender.
We have no plan.
Then there's an open source 3D editor, so you can do any
Yeah, that would be
shape.
great.
Actually now, like
Okay,
for
you're
instance, if you
here.
have iPhone 10, you can scan your face in 3D, and for instance, you can put it inside and make a statue out of it or something. Or design any shape in 3D or download shape in 3D, you can put it inside. So you can design your world, you can design, some things, put them inside. So yeah, the sky is the limit actually with this.
Oh, you use like your computer to design it and then.
Yeah. So they included now the simple editor, which you can use inside VR, so just placing things all around you, but you can also do it much more advanced way through your computer. So we hope that actually, by first investigating what works, what doesn't, then we can identify the gaps and then try to come up with some specific tools and environments that will fit it perfectly.
It's just loading up.
But it's a good idea to do stuff there,
So like one day you won't have to fly out here, you can just have everyone put on their headset.
That's the thing. So the idea is exactly so, basically you can say, okay, maybe to 70% experience can be simulated, right? Of course, it will never be the same, but it will be much better. And I would say it's much more than standard teleconference.
This is actually
Like
really good.
I do know Mendel.
I wear my glasses.
Mendel is a reference management system.
What I wasn't.
People use it for writing
Okay.
papers and so on. So I mentioned that because it's owned by Elsevier,
Here.
and I'm an advisor. So every year I'm teaching at the library in my university, introducing people to this kind of a system.
Luke, can you invite me again?
Can you what?
Invite me again?
Invite you again?
Yeah. For some reason it keeps like.
Okay. So anyway, I did lately training inside VR last week just, and the guys from Mendel were astonished, and they actually want to go on with this. so actually it seems Elsevier and other guys are actually really thinking that it might be actually a good idea to provide training, maybe even teaching in VR. So. Okay, there's a lot of people here talking. Okay.
Can you invite me?
Yeah. People capturing message. Oh crap! I want to go to. Okay. I went to your room now instead of having business.
Not gonna be great.
But anyway, I will go to visit you rather than.
To the campfire.
No, because the problem I clicked on the other button, so I'm going to visit you rather than you visit me.
Was you interested in the topics in this week? I feel like
Did you invite me?
more research.
No, I think
Thank you
we-
for coming.
Thank you very much.
So you're a student, are you a student here in LA's program?
Yes.
He's actually one of the chairs of the UXPP.
Okay, so we will, this is like the first step. We are kind of developing a group of people among the students and faculty interested in XR in general. So so that our usability lab would become more of a VR, AR, XR usability lab.
Yeah.
So just to let you know
Actually,
that
you're offline. I can't see you. Sorry.
Okay,
we are
yeah,
moving in that direction.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly, there's a lot more like to explore, I guess.
There is a lot more to explore, yeah.
Both literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right.
So you guys, you taking off?
Yeah, I have to print lots of things.
I know, you got.
Thank you for coming anyway. And
Yeah,
yeah,
good
if you
luck
would
with
like,
everything.
if you would like to stay in touch, with